Good morning, everyone. I particularly want to thank Pelfrey and welcome all of his subscribers who seem to have found the good old Potomac Reef channel. Thanks for joining. I wanted to give you a bit of a tank tour today. Since most of the videos have been on equipment, I thought it would make sense to spend a little time in the tank. So we'll do that. We'll jump in and go through some of the coral that are inside Potomac Reef. Welcome to Potomac Reef, my journey juggling our 180-gallon reef aquarium with family, work, and travel. All right, here's a good view of a couple corals that are near and dear to my heart. On the left, we see a large bird's nest that has grown out from a tiny frag. It's about the size of a volleyball right now. In the middle, another tiny frag grown into a nice Pavona cactus coral. Wedged in between those two is a nice purple stylo, which hasn't grown all that much but seems to be holding its color nicely. Next to the Pavona, I've got a sprouting greenish frag there. That has grown out from literally the tiniest chip of a frag that sort of blew up on me, and I fragged it up and glued something smaller than the size of a pencil eraser back to a frag plug, and this is now grown out and is sprouting nicely and starting to get some cool colors. Above that, to the right, you can see a small Hawkins acanthata. It hasn't done much yet. All right, above the Pavona, we've got a pretty large acro that has grown out. I believe this is a Paletta tricolor, and it's got a lot of white areas that are the growth zones, which scared me at first because they didn't have any color and I thought we had a problem, but it's growing feverishly there. And then the body of it has started to get darker with more colors. It's got some greens in there, you can see some blue tips, and then on the tips of the active growth zones in different lighting, you'll see bright yellows. So pretty impressive. My ever-present green slimer has been growing like mad. I've fragged this guy up a number of times. It just keeps growing back. I've got a nice Montipora digitata, the orange behind there. And then right behind there you can see what I think is Pacillipora damascormus. So that's doing pretty well as well. So this section of the reef has really been growing aggressively. It's been pretty happy. If we come down a little bit, we see some other guys here. We've got a nice Monty cap that's grown out. I actually broke it in half accidentally a number of months ago, but I just glued it back together. You can't even see the seam, and it keeps growing, so that's pretty impressive. We've got what used to be, I think, an acan over to the right, but I think it's now a micromusa. We've got a nice chalice here that's really been growing and holding amazing colors. We've got a green acro here that has encrusted, but other than that hasn't done much vertically. And then a jaguar Acropora nullipora from Worldwide Corals right there. If we come down, get a bunch of zoas, and here is the Garden of Hell. All of these xenia that I just cannot get rid of for the life of me, despite a lot of attempts with forceps. They just keep coming back. So suggestion, don't put xenia in your tank. And then coming around the corner here, we've got some LPS, we've got a Scoli, and I think this is a Blasto at the bottom here. Neither of these have done anything all that impressive, but they feed, which is kind of cool to watch. All right, coming around the corner, we've got a nice acro here that's been growing, starting to get some more purple into it. We've got this enormous bubble tip that doesn't have any bubbles on it. The clownfish love him. This thing has been moving all over the place, and harassing corals left and right. You can see the dead zone here where we don't have any green star polyps. So in the game of rock, paper, scissors, bubble tip anemone wins against green star polyps. What else do we have here? We've got another bubble tip. This was the first one I got. It vanished for a number of months, but now has reemerged. It's got bubbles, it's got multiple colors, it looks fantastic, so really excited about that. I've got a Cali tort in the background, and then this little tiny frag right in the middle. You can see it, I believe, if you have a microscope. That is my prized Walt Disney. All it did was deplete my bank account, and it hasn't done anything since it was placed there. So maybe at some point it will start to grow. Then we come in here. For those of you who have looked at the reef before, you will have seen that there is not a huge bird's nest here anymore. It all of a sudden blew up the other day, and now I have space for more SPS and more specifically more acros. So I'm not too traumatized by that. I do have a lot of pieces of it, some in the basement, and then you can see right at the base of the Cali tort, there's more of it as well. Here we've got some very kind of cool looking frags. They look better when the lights are on, even brighter. Let's see, we've got nuclear grapes in the back there. On the left hand side is something called Dirty Love, and then a free purple acro that Worldwide Corals gave me. We've got Turbinaria here, and I'm not sure actually what this in the back of that is, but it also has fought the good fight against the green star polyps. They cannot seem to overtake it, so I'm pretty happy about that. Coming left, we've got my huge purple Monty cap, which I've been very happy with. We've got a very large and happy clam, an island of zoanthids. We've got a garden of Euphalia. We've got some hammer. We've got a torch down on the bottom. And then we've got a couple frog spawns right here. We've got a purple one on the left. So you can see a little more clearly there. And then more of a goldeny one. That's actually two different pieces that were kind of put together. We've got the obligatory leather. We've got a heliopora. We've got a hydnophora in the back that has grown out really impressively. It's a pretty cool coral. I wasn't familiar with it, but it's really neon green. It's hairy, and it grows well. Got more various acropora frags. We've got a sniper acropora, I guess because it looks like gun barrels or something like that. I've got another acan here, some trumpet corals that the large anemone evicted from the right-hand side, so I moved it. We've got some cool Recordia that are really colorful, and then more Montipora. And that is about it. There's a couple other frags hiding in various places, but nothing overly exotic. Let's come around. We have a Gorgonian that seems to enjoy it down here in the corner. It's non-photosynthetic, I believe. So I've been trying to feed him reefroids. Another view here of this frag. Really kind of interesting, the growth patterns on these though. When they decide to sprout, they really come out with a lighter color, and then as it stops growing, it fills in color. And then there's one last acro frag back here. It might be a Millipora. It hasn't done all that much, but it's got some cool colors now starting to thicken up on it. And many of these frags have been here for about 12 months, and I have not gotten great color instantaneously at all. I mean, I'm still not fully satisfied with the color on these, but they're a lot better than they were. So my experience has just been it takes a while, so patience is a virtue.